So I'll explain just a little bit. Mitsuki is reaching for my shoulder. And I turn, my centre at his centre. Here. Now the important thing is we're trying to have a conversation. Again. So if he goes to come forward and I still have the centre, it's not going to happen. So what he's looking for is for me to move slightly, which is an invitation to come into my house. If he tries to come into my house before I've invited him, I don't allow it. Invitation, movement. Invitation, movement. No invitation, you can't come in. It's really important that you try to use your peripheral vision with this. Yeah? Don't be looking at the person, but try to perceive everything around you as you do it. We're trying to build this relationship between the two sternums, so we should feel like there's a symbiotic process happening where we feel like we're in motion together. Not one person doing one thing and another person doing another thing. Yeah. So it's that centre-to-centre relationship again. With the tactile feedback, the other thing that we were talking about in Denmark was the ability to just be in contact here. So if Mitsuki moves his hand up or down, my hand just goes with it. If I'm stiff here, and I've got my hand here, and you'll know if you're training with Mitsuki, if you're here and you've got really stiff hands, this is going to happen. It's not my fault. If your hand's here soft, if he goes to do it to me, it just stays with him. But if you're holding tension here and looking at him, especially if you're staring at him, like you've lost that peripheral vision, you're probably going to get poked in somewhere you don't want to get poked. It's good fun. Okay, have a play. We're going to up the ante a little bit. The person's going to try to punch you in the stomach. Because this morning we're going to play with ski, okay? So you're going to get used to somebody hitting you so you don't do this. Okay, punch, go. Like that. Yep, so as the punch comes, watch, I don't run away from it. As he goes to punch me, I go straight at him. Back foot turns in. Here, go. Again. At him. At him. This is really important. Because quite often when we go to do technique, we just do this. And if he misses with that ski, the next one's going to get you because your weight's already on your back foot. So it's pretty much the same action, yeah? I turn here, but I want my finger to end up on the outside. So my hand falls on top, and then I just slightly turn my hip so that I bring myself back to the centre. And then claw, and then in, here, again, here, again, here, again, here. But I'm still on his centre, always on the centre. So I'm not going side to side to side, I'm making him go side to side to side. So he has to turn and come around. I'm not trying to dodge it, I'm trying to make his line of force move. And then he has to bring the line of force back to the centre of the interaction. Yeah. Otherwise, you're constantly chasing your tail like a dog, you know. And eventually, you'll be worn out. Okay, have a play. Try that. Just put your hand here on top. At the moment, when I've made contact, I feel like I'm down. This is Aiki, so I'm down. And then from here, don't pull with your hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drift slightly back. And as I drift back, I change from Aiki down to Aiki up. But I still don't do it with my hand, yeah? So back, up, and then the hand follows the feeling of the body rising. Then the hand comes up, and at the same time the back foot comes in. Here, down. So again, important, when I engage, I turn to take this. Don't just step back. So center to center. One. Back slightly, up, up, at the center. In. Again. Turn here, back slightly. Down. Here, back up. In and down. The important thing is what happens with the mind, the intention here. So here, back, up. When I come in here, I'm thinking about straight through my tone center. So I'm not coming here and going, oh, elbow. I'm going, elbow. And he goes, shit, ribs. Yeah, my ribs. My mind is here, and it's still going through him. So sometimes when you're doing the technique, you need to put your mind or your intent where the opening is. Even though the elbow might be up here in the air, mentally you're not actually doing that. You're going into the space. I like his position. He likes it too. just to here. Okay, but working on those movements, the box, down, back, up, and down. But also working on where you're putting your mind when you're going to the elbow. Yes? Everybody knows this technique. Good luck. Down, up, down. Down, up, closing, down. So, yeah, there's a downward pressure. Then I release it by floating myself. This is Aikido up. And then he feels like, oh, my feet were released, and he goes to come around into my centre, and then I go, that's my centre. And I just move straight into the space that he wanted. So it's not down, up, down, grabbing the person's arm. It's he attacks and I'm down. Then watch me, I don't lift my hand up, I float me, and my hand stays in the centre here. And then I cut into the space here. My centre. It's a conversation with you. Yeah? Yeah, down, up, my centre, and I just walk straight through it. Yeah, to my centre. My centre. Okay, just want you to pause for a minute. Just stay with the groups, alright? Somebody tell me what I've been teaching all weekend, all 2 weeks.
Go to the centre, always forward.
So when I do Aiki, so at the end I throw you, yeah? What do you think happens?
You lift me up and then you let me fall down.
Yeah, okay, so we've talked about the Aiki Sage being many things, yeah? One point goes up, the other point goes down. So when I'm here and I come and pick you out and then I float you, watch my wrist and ask Marco what this feels like.
Sage.
And what's happening to your body?
Became a rolling.
Yeah, it became round. His shoulders start to go forward, off the feeling of that. So I'm not going here, float, push. I want him to go down. So here, in my mind, to make this part go down, and this part goes up. And you get the rotation at the extended end of the point of contact. I was just waiting for somebody to pick it up, but I got all the way over there and I realised nobody had it. So I thought I'd better just do a good side. Yeah, going in. So 1, 2, watch. Straight away. Down. Because I wanted this to go down, so I touch the top. And I want this to go up, so I push this down. Up. Down. If you think about it, right, if you initiate down at the fingers, what you do is you push yourself out of the ground. So if I initiate down here, that naturally just falls under the weight of gravity. And then if I want up, push it down, and it naturally flicks up. And then I have to put energy into my fingers, and if I try to push up here, it naturally pushes me down. But if I just utilize those sensations under gravity from my wrist into my hand, then I don't get me getting pushed up or down. I can stay completely centered. But you get the feeling of it. So I'm doing Aikisage at the end. Everything this weekend is doing some version of Aikido Yuishinkai. Yeah. We're trying to use it now in the context of technique and motion, which is really difficult. But unless I make you aware of it, you're not going to try to find it. So here, instead of going, I'm going to push, I go, I'm going to lift my wrist and move into the space. And the lifting of the wrist naturally starts the rotation of the lower arm and up into the humerus, which makes you, oh, why rolling? Because I've just spiraled your humerus bone and your shoulder girdle is doing this. Yeah? All right. You've got 15 minutes before you can go and unpack your brain and put it on ice.
That's true. Am I about to say much?
Enjoy, so remember it's an hour and a half, okay? So enjoy your lunch.